Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namami buddhaṃ sasarantaṃ sattā sarāham susukīyavera. Ayo nivujjo sakaro duranto gaccanti sabbe maranam mancha. Namami dhammam sugatena desitam sattā sadāhantu sukīyavera. Kayo nivujjo sakaro durando gaccanti sabbe maranam mancha. Namami sangham jilaraja savakam sattā sadāhantu sukīyavera. Kayo nivujjo sakaro durando gaccanti sabbe maranam mancha.
So dear Dhamma friends, we continue our breathing meditation technique today. So in the beginning, keep focus your mind in front of your nose and your upper lip area. And let your inhalation, exhalation happen itself. So when the inhalation happens, just recognize it as inhalation, exhalation happen, recognize it as exhalation. So you have to be very careful yourself not to make anything happen the way you want. Neutralize your reactive nature inside and learn to observe and understand. So that is where your consciousness develops. So when you observe your inhalation, exhalation, in the beginning just recognize separately inhalation and exhalation. And then when you keep focus more deeply, you will see this is the beginning, this is the middle, and this is the end of the inhalation. This is the beginning, this is the middle, and this is the end of the exhalation. So from beginning to end, recognize inhalation and exhalation knowingly. This is beginning, this is middle, and this is end. And that will take you to another understanding deeply. Your inhalation or exhalation, whatever you experience in the moment, maybe it become longer or shorter, heavy or soft, warm or cold, or maybe only right nostril or left nostril, or both nostrils. Each and every inhalation, exhalation has a different character, different details, not similar to other one. So that will take your understanding to another level. The whatever the inhalation or exhalation you experience, only for that moment you experience that. You cannot compare it to anything. So that is why, without comparing to past or without comparing to future, when the inhalation happens, learn to stay with that moment wherever you feel the sensation, maybe tip of your nose or your upper lip area. Stay in that moment. So that consciousness, try to increase little by little duration, increase the duration to stay in the moment with that sensation. that will take you more deeper, and your body, your mind and your breathing start to connect as one. If you can keep your mind in the one point, which we call samadhi, tranquility state, that means your mind anymore not going to react to your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body and the mind consciousness itself. That is the nature of the samadhi. But that doesn't mean you are unconscious. You are conscious, but you are not reacting to the eye, ear, nose, tongue, body and the mind. So, when you come to that level, your mind becomes more sharp and clear. So, using that sharp and clear mind, you have to observe the nature of the life, nature of the body, nature of the pain, or nature of the thoughts. These are the things that take you to the vipassana level. So then when you come to the tranquility state, observe the nature of the inhalation exhalation. There is no any relationship to you, but it happens. When the inhalation happens, you feel inhalation, you feel life, but you cannot name that inhalation as yours. This is mine. And when the exhalation happens, the same thing, but you cannot name it as yours. Selfless nature. Observe the selfless nature. And the body also the same. The body also surrender to the inhalation or exhalation. It doesn't matter whatever the condition that you carry within yourself. When the inhalation happens, when the exhalation happens without any demand, the bodies accept the inhalation and exhalation. So that in a deeper level, body also have the selfless nature and react to the inhalation and exhalation and observe that. When you observe, you will see that the real life happening without selfless idea. And you cannot put the identity to real life. It's everything always changing and becoming something else, becoming something else. So observe that nature. And then you can expand that consciousness. So whatever the sound, smell, sensation, thought arise in you, that everything arising and disappearing without self-centered connection. So observe that and recognize and experience that, but you experience that selfless connection. When you experience the selfless connection, that is where the mind becomes really free and experience exactly what it is. If you come to the self-centered experience, you cannot experience really what is happening the outside. Because the self-centered thought, when you have the self-centered idea that itself, you disconnect from the nature. So observe the inhalation, exhalation, start from that, and it's kind of like a gate for you to go deeper. And be very careful and calm, relax yourself, no struggle in yourself. And observe the inhalation, exhalation, and see the beginning, the middle, the end, and see the differences in it. And then slowly observe the vipassana knowledge, turn to the vipassana knowledge and observe how the inhalation, exhalation different and selfless. And observe that all the experience that you go through with eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, also the selfless, like the inhalation, exhalation. You will see the same nature. So your right palm on your left and neck head straight in one line and be comfortable with your posture. And scan head to toes 3 times yourself and say Sopateva, oh be well and happy. 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this evening to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge in this evening with this sitting. May my body become more comfortable, may my breath be more smooth, may no difficulties come to me. May all the success come to me. Also think for a moment, this is the last moment we are spending in this very lifetime. And detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing your inhalation and exhalation. Relax your head. Relax your forehead. Relax your eyebrows. Relax your eyes. Relax your ears. Relax your nose. Relax your upper lip. And relax your lower lip. Relax your chin. Relax your whole face muscles. Relax your teeth. Relax your tongue. Relax your mouth. Relax your throat. Relax your neck. Relax your shoulders. Relax your arms. Relax your elbow. Relax your forearms, palms, fingers, fingertips. Relax your back muscles and relax your spine. Relax your chest and relax your abdominal muscles. Relax your lungs. Relax your heart. Relax your liver. Relax your kidneys. Relax your gallbladder. Relax your pancreas. Relax your small intestine. Relax your large intestine. Relax your abdominal organs. Relax your buttock. Relax your thigh. Relax your knee. Relax your calf muscles. Relax your foot and relax your toes. Relax your whole body muscles, tendons, ligaments, bone marrows and whole skeleton. Release the tension in your mind and bring a pleasant smile to your face and keep relax your face muscles. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire this compound, this village, this city, this state, this country, this world, this universe. And as far as we can through galaxies, other planets, stars, reminding ourselves like this. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe. And may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are pale or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion. Forward. To your backside. To your left side. And to your right side. Downward and upward. To all 6 directions at once. Bring the awareness to your body. Focus your mind in front of your nose and your pelvic area. Deeply and gently breathe in, breathe out 3 times and try to find the sensation of your inhalation and exhalation. And gently observe the inhalation. If your body tired, and make it more calm down and relax. And if you feel more relaxed and lazy, and put some effort to your practice, If you have tired body, don't put effort. When you get tired, more. When you have a tired body, you have to be calm and relaxed. If you have a relaxed body, you have to put the effort. Otherwise, you get more sleepy and lazy. So recognizing the conditions of your body, also the mindfulness. Don't struggle yourself. Be gentle. Focusing on inhalation, exhalation. And see the nature of the selflessness, inhalation and exhalation. Everything happening there without self-centered idea. So observe and understand yourself. So dear Dhamma friends, when you try to do something, there are two things that always, like left and right. This one thing is that all the negativity, and other side from the all the positive things. So in life you can count all the liabilities and also you can count all the possibilities. No? So the thing is that if you train your mind to point out always the negativity, and if you always look for the negative things, what is happening, the mind start to develop that nature. And also if you develop the positive side of the mind and always look the positive things, the mind start to develop that nature. So the mind itself doesn't have a choice. For the moment that whatever your consciousness give the guidance, the mind start to follow that. So the consciousness then, that is the highest level of this everything. So when you recognize the dharma, when you understanding in the pure level of understanding, it go to the consciousness. But in a surface level of understanding, it just go to the mind. So, but the thing is, but when you keep continue later, it is start to go to the consciousness. So then yourself you have to look what is you train, what is you practice. You have ability to develop the character you want. So as all of you know, if somebody come and ask, I have a vacant for you, vacancy, and I can give that vacancy, and then when you take that position, you can become a person whatever you want in the world that already somebody achieved to that level. And there are all the famous people, so you can become like that. And sometimes the thing is, for a certain period you like to become like that person, but after that you don't want to become like that person. For certain situation you want to become like that person, but all the time you don't want to become like that person. So as example, if you want to become the president, so all the time you don't want to become the president. Sometimes you don't get, you don't agree to, you don't like to become president. I like this part, but I don't like that part. Like you want to become a famous actor. So I like, when he get the award part. But I don't like when, go again and again rehearsal and do that part. Oh, I don't like that part. You want to become Michael Jackson? When the music go and dance, you want to become like that. But after that, no, forget about it. But that all the time that your mind becomes so happy and calm if you achieve to the Bodhisattva level. The Bodhisattva means the person who follow to become the Buddha. If a person have idea to become a Buddha, for a moment even, he experience, I want to become a Buddha. For a moment he experienced that, he want to keep continue that. He don't want to, oh, this part I like, I don't like this part. No, you will never find something like that. That is the beauty with the Buddha's character. Even the Jesus, the people like to become the Jesus, but when it go to the cross and get the nails to the finger, oh, forget, I don't want to get that part. So, like that. But the Buddha is not like that. No, because his life is always the connect with the consciousness. So when you are in the pure consciousness, you are a path of to become a Buddha. You become a Bodhisattva. So then you have to look what is that lifestyle that you keep developing to reach to that kind of path. Or otherwise, are you wasting your time, or you going here and there? Because that you don't need to waste your time. Why? Because all the teachings today we have, and there is no need anything new. That there is no way to add something new. This is already everything there. Only part is yourself. If you able to, find the right. If you willing to look for what is right, you will find it. In the ancient time, your ancestors, and they went through hard time and they sacrificed their life to find what is right, what is wrong. And they already found out it recorded for you. And then today you are, and you have so that much things available for around you, and that things came from the past with a lot of experience and a lot of that knowledge, life tested knowledge. It went through the life and people understood. So then today, if you again try to experience it within you and test your life, and with that knowledge, you wasting time. You waste, but you don't have that much time here. You have at least that just became with the good health and good conscious good mind. You have very few years in the life. Very few years. It's even not 50 years. So then you have to recognize within this short time period how you can achieve to the best and how you become the best. There are certain things, there are 5 things that you always have to focus, came from the Buddha's life. So one day, Buddha went to Pindapata, but it was so early, he was going, for lunch, begging for lunch, and it was so early, and he was waiting. And on the way, he saw another monastery, not belong to the Buddha's teaching. Someone else used to, practice another way. So Buddha thought, I want to go, visit that place. And he always, whenever opportunity, he always go to that place. So then they having a discussion, with his students and all. There was the master, and he was having a discussion. And what they was talking about? The politics, weather, and marketing, and this kind of thing. All this, there are, as I think it's kind of like 36 topics that the Buddha mentioned. It eat your life. It eat your life, eat your time, eat your brain.
Oh my God.
One is politics. It eat your brain, eat your time, eat your life. You start to talk anywhere, and people sometimes ending with the, death. Have you ever heard that they go to the political talks and then some people kill them? That called your life ending with the politics.
No.
The weather, extreme weather, some people, keep tracking and go with the, and they, they get into very, and the economy, they become so passionate with that and they keep following. So like that, there are certain things you have to remember. Knowingly is good, but don't be so crazy craving for that knowledge. It take to the end. So somehow they was talking, and when the Buddha come, they saw Buddha, and then they knew the Buddha don't like this kind of topics. They say, oh, Buddha coming this way, and don't talk this, and there was silence. And the Buddha came, and now that when the Buddha come and he asked, so before I come, what kind of talk that you having? So now they don't want to give to tell, oh, we had this kind of talk, and he told, just forget about that, that I have a question to ask, and then Buddha said, yeah, you can ask. Then this other religious leader told that your students respect you, and not like my students, because not like others. There at that time there were other 7 spiritual masters in the during that time, very famous. Not like that others 7 spiritual masters, because why? These are the reasons they told. When the other teachers, other masters teach, their students keep talking each other. But when you talk, your students, no, not doing like that. And when other they giving talks, sometimes they fighting each other. But your students, no, they are very calm. Yeah. So when other teachers giving lectures, they don't put attention to that. And but your students know. And when other teachers giving lectures, they come to argue with the teacher. But your students, no, they don't do like that. So this kind of thing. And then this this master told that I know the reason for that. There are five things. Then he told, these are the 5 things that I think. What? You eat only 1 meal per day. So that's one reason. You eat only 1 meal per day. And you always wearing the robes that came from the, it's called Pansakula. Pansakula means the people that time, they used to wrap the dead body, and they throw it. And then what the monks does, and they go and take that, cloth back. And they come and wash it, and then they clean, and they make it kind of like a robe. So that is kind of like other people respect to you wearing that kind of, because you are not, follow any kind of passion or not like that. So that is one thing. Another thing is you always stay, in the forest or under a tree. That is one thing. And so, and another one that he told that you always go to Pindapata, and you always go to, and you don't eat the whatever the people bringing or something like that. So these kind of things he start to mention about the Buddha. Then the Buddha said, it is not true. And sometimes, and another one is you eat little, that is another one, this one. So then the Buddha said, no, that is not true. Because sometimes my students eat 1 meal, some days I eat few meals, and some days my students, and eat little, but I eat a lot. You know? And some days, sometimes I stay in a very, the expensive temples, like in the Jetavana, and during that time, that was the most, the beautiful and expensive place in that city. So, and this millionaire offered that temple to the Buddha. So Buddha said, sometimes I stay there and my students stay under the tree. And the people used to give very, uh, uh, expensive, robes to the Buddha. And Buddha said, sometimes I wear that. My students, not wearing like that. And always, I'm traveling, no, sometimes, I, spend a very relaxed and comfortable life, but my students always, traveling and having, no rest. And they, then again, this is spiritual leader told that you are always resting very well, you are not busy. And the Buddha said, no, some days I am very busy. My students, under the tree, they are resting well. So then the Buddha said that is not the reason why they respect me. And then the Buddha gave some other things. So these are the important. Why? Because that is what you have to focus in your life. These also sometimes people respect to that. And the people, that is kind of like Nigantanatha Buddha. He was, he escaped from the house, as a young boy. And he didn't have money. So then what happened, there was a river he has to cross. So he was crossing the river and his all the cloth, went away. And he was so tired after crossing the river. And what he did, he was, sitting under a tree. And he was afraid, thinking, because he just on the way, he don't want to sleep. And so because of that, he don't want to lie down. What he did, he just sit and close his eyes. When he opened the eyes, a lot of people, bowing to him. He thought, oh wow, this is good because, I just escaped from the house and no money, nothing, now no help. But oh look, people respect now. I want to carry this baton, and still if you go to India, you will see naked, sadhus. And even still people go, and they bow. Huh? And if you hear some master, they have very, limited facilities and they don't do this kind of, that kind of, even they don't wear slippers, barefoot, very limited food. Oh, people say, wow, it's very good, fine. It's a very old fashion. But that is not the Buddha focus. That is not the one is the Buddha mentioned. Why my students respect me? Because the one is well disciplined. Well disciplined. The Buddha's character, and if you look very carefully, if you read the Buddha's character, there is no any single day, there is no any single hour, there is no any single minute that you can deny this cannot be like this. It's so much, the perfect character he built. So then when you have opportunity, you have to slowly, to be so perfect with the moment. That lead your life to that, Buddha's path of the life. Another thing is that Buddha knew all the disciplinary code and that all the ethics, that whatever he followed. That means this. If the Buddha says something no, he knew the reason. And he knew, and still today, you cannot take anything out from that all the Buddha's teaching, and you can, there is nothing to add. It's complete. Even the Roman law today, this all the court, the follow the whatever the law, and still sometimes they add new rules and regulations. But in the Buddha's teaching, the whatever the rules and regulations, disciplinary code gave to monks or the people, there is nothing that you can take out, and there is nothing to add. It's complete. Okay. So then, if you say something for your children, for your friends and family, for your husband and wife, don't do this. And sometimes they ask why. And only you can say, don't ask question, don't do that. You know why you say like that? Because you don't know it is right. You don't know, but you know it is not good to do, and that's why you say don't do. That's good, but you don't know the reason why it became like that. So no. Always remember, it's first start yourself. The whatever you do, look what is the reason. If you don't do something, look what is the reason. And that is very easy then for you to communicate with others. And when you say something, don't do this, and you know the reason why it is should not do. Otherwise, look, sometimes all over the world, the people, and there are a lot of things. People say, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. For a moment, for that, situation, people don't do that. But that doesn't mean they don't do. They do it. Why? Because they don't understand why. As example, and when you drive and you see on the freeway, put your, seat belt. Otherwise, and they're going to fine. But still some people thinking, oh, it is, it's kind of like, they become like a hero, without putting a seat belt when they drive. So I went to Westminster area, one guy was driving, I said, you put no, this is our area, don't worry.
Oh my God.
Vietnam guy, don't worry, this is our area. I told it's nothing to do with your area. If you hit, you're going to, go out of the car. That's why they say don't put your seat belt.
Wow.
But they don't recognize, And how many times they say, when you drive, don't, talk over the phone or don't text. But people don't care, and they keep doing it. And they think it is something else. No, it is not good for you.
Yeah.
See, people went through experience, they recognize, and they say don't do. And even we know it is not good to do, but still we keep doing. How many things we in our life like that? So then remember in your capacity always, and develop a life. And if you know this should not do, and keep follow that, because in your capacity you know the reason, and if you don't know, look for the reason, and then you know what you keep doing. Otherwise it is wasting your time. It's kind of like there are some people, they say don't practice meditation. Don't practice meditation, it is not good. There are some people teach, don't do yoga. So there are some people, Even the whole country not allowed to, do any kind of, things like that. Huh? So it is real. It is, so then, if you don't do, you know the reason why I don't do that. So that is one reason. Another thing is, when the Buddha teach something, it always very clear. Not something hiding and not keep it for later, not give it to the favorite student, the very close student, no. It's everybody, whoever come late or whoever come first, whoever front or whoever back, everybody, get the same. That is one quality. Even look yourself sometimes. As parents, look yourself deeply and put a secret microscope and look yourself, and sometimes your own children. You have favorite children. Oh, I like this child. I don't like this child. Yeah, I have argument always with the sometimes parents. They always complaining about somebody. They don't complain about someone. They have always, they do all the favorite, things to them. But the Buddha is not like that. So then you can practice that, at home, and when you do something, and remember to keep, the equal level for others, and if you teach somewhere, and sometimes, you feel, oh, I don't like this person. No, when you teach, do the same to everyone. If you that have time to share your knowledge, or you providing facilities, and remember, whoever come there, keep the same. That quality, it's not easy. That quality will take you to the Buddha's path. That is the thing. Otherwise, don't go, I like this, or I don't like this person. No, don't divide people. Oh, he understand this, he cannot understand that. No. It is not about, you cannot, get into a judgment about his, no. It is about your knowledge, because if you divided someone, he cannot understand this, no. Maybe you cannot explain it to understand it. Because you say, oh, he cannot understand, he can understand, he can understand. That means because your mind have no capacity to, give knowledge to that. But the Buddha is not like that. And always, from beginning, the middle, the end, it's always, keep the topic. That means conscious talking. So sometimes, some people start talk, with some idea, and then in the middle they, lost, and maybe in the end they come with the different idea, and even for 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 10 minutes, just and sometimes like I go to YouTube and say, okay, what to do for what this, and some people, and they come, hey guys, how are you doing? I'm going to show you this, and he starts something else. He never explain, what you're going to do. No. He keep talking about something else, and then finish. So there are some people, but they explain it very well, and they don't talk, and they don't take much time. They go exactly to the details, and they do that. So then you need to come to yourself. Remember, always. So whatever the situation come within you, and be very clear with that situation. And if you keep talking with your husband, wife, children, friends and families, and even if you teaching, so yourself, remember, don't miss the point, and keep the point, because that become a kind of like a Buddha's quality that you develop, and that is where other people start to respect you. It is not you looking for respect, but it become kind of like a validate yourself, because you need a validity for your consciousness. That is where you can work. Otherwise, if other people not validate your understanding how you're going to work, they're not going to accept anything, and they nothing can open. It's kind of like when you get a gate pass, if you validate, when you put it open, so kind of like that. Otherwise, you're having hard time. Yourself also, then you have to look how other people, are you validate yourself with the others? Are they, closing down to you? No, don't talk to him. No, don't tell to him. No, don't take him. People, closing down. No, why? Because there is something, they cannot, deal with you. So then remember, whatever the situation come, wherever the things go, and remember yourself to, keep it in the right path. And other quality that Buddha had, whatever the situation and whatever the incident and whatever the people come, he always has knowledge to take them to divert it to the Four Noble Truth. And he never misguided people to from the truth. He always guided people to the truth. And whatever the situation, personal or any other situation or the problem that they had, whatever the things they went through, and when they came to Buddha, with that situation, Buddha guided them to the Four Noble Truth. And that is something. So then, in your family, so you as when you learn these things and you become a better person, in your family, whoever, maybe get many other, go to different directions, you have to have power to guide them to the right path. And sometimes people say, my son, my daughter, now, go like this way, I cannot do anything, I don't know what to do. How it is possible? Why you cannot, guide them to the right path? No. So the Buddha has that power, because that you have a very clear mind, that when you have very clear mind what is right, it is very easy to guide others to the right. But ourselves, when we don't know what is right, how you can guide to others to that path? So if you went to downtown, taking 101, then after that whatever the freeway you want to take, and then if you have already gone that path, maybe another person come and he don't know the road, but you can give the direction. You can somehow guide them, and somebody on the way and ask, hey, I am in here, I missed the road and I cannot find it. And then you can tell, okay, go like this, go like this, go like this. Why you can tell like that? How? Because you already went. Otherwise you cannot do that. So then if your children or some of your friends, and somewhere, and they miss the road, and they start to come and fight and struggle, and then they say, in this way, then you come and tell, I don't know how to advise. I don't know, how to take him out from this situation. Maybe he is stuck with the certain thing. I don't know how to stop that. you know. So because you didn't experience, what is the truth inside, what is the truth in life. So that is why you cannot guide people to the truth, And so always remember then, yourself, always guide your life to the right path. It is very easy for you to give guidance to others to go to the right path. But if you never want to walk in that path, you cannot give guidance. Another one is the Buddha has the highest knowledge. The reason for that, how he became like that. Kin Satya Gavesi, Kin Kusala Gavesi. These are the two things that he always had. That make him the highest knowledge. King Satya Gavesi means he always look what is the truth. King Kusala Gavesi, he always look what is profitable. When the situation come to, his life, when whatever the things he do, he always look what is the truth behind this. That make you open. And is this profitable for me? What is the profitable? And then yourself, you spending time and maybe years, and after that you give up. That means you spending years, and you didn't know it is not profitable. And see, sometimes even not like us, the big people that, well educated, and the university research and that, that people start huge project, and they doing research and everything, keep following, spending money, people's time, energy and everything putting to that. And after 10 years, 5 years, what they do? They shut down the project. Without any result, they shut down, they say, no, it's not going to work. How it is possible? Because they are well educated people, and they spend everything, and after that everything they understand it is not profitable. So don't become like that. In your life, with the little things you have to look, is it profitable for you? Like as example, you watching the TV. There is a program going. Just think, it is a profitable for you. There maybe the people come and start to talk something else, and they go somewhere and eating, and maybe far away another country, Africa or something like that, and they go and with the camera and everything, and they show you how they eat, and you hear, wow, look that people how they eat. What the profit? You're not going to get any profit out of that time watching that kind of thing. And so then you have to be conscious. What you're watching is profitable for you, and maybe you're hearing something. And maybe the music, and even you don't know this, the words or the anything. You just passing the time. Is it profitable? So any direction, any area in your life, you can look, is it profitable for you? If it is not profitable, don't do it. And then you will see, today people say, I am busy. But when you come to that level, you recognize, it is very hard to be busy, because it's very hard to find profitable things. You have so much time to do things. Look like when you practice meditation, even 20 minutes, 30 minutes, how long? Why? Because it is really profitable. Now when you go to just unprofitable things, time pass like nothing. So then remember yourself. Always look, what is truth and what is profitable. That make you, a higher person. So these are the 5 qualities that you have to develop to come to the Buddha's path. And not, having kind of like one meal per day, you stay under a tree, and doing that kind of things, So still people believing like that and they do like that, but they don't practice these things, And their samsaric journey become longer. So then yourself remember you practice meditation and at the same time come to this path because that is the highest as a character if you can follow. Get that quality, and wherever keep you go, try to treat others as equal. Don't keep a favorite. And always that whenever opportunity come to you, be very clear with that situation. If you talk to others, if you explain something, try to be very clear as much as possible for you. It makes you more conscious with the situation. And when you say something, yes, be mindful and understand why you say like yes. When you say no, knowingly say no. And without, don't say. So like that yourself, and other thing is build up a disciplined life yourself. And then you will see little by little, you become, you come to that path. And like when you want to go to, San Francisco, you take the, 101 and you go, It doesn't matter whatever the traffic or, situation, weather. No, if you keep going, where you end? You end San Francisco. So like that, if you take that path, it doesn't matter life go up and down. Where you end? You end like the Buddha. Maybe in the future there is a possibility. Your picture going to become like this, and some student to stay here, and start to. If you have a chance to become like that, that is the highest level that you can go. So then, without practice, without taking the first step, you cannot go that long journey. So then yourself remember, it is not coming to the temple and sitting and meditating, taking that step. No. Wherever you are after you leave this place, with your family, with your friends, and outside, whatever the service you do for others, when you're driving, that is where you have to take that step. Because the temple is a more secure place. Nobody to disturb. There's nothing going to come against you. You are so safe. Like the turtle inside, all the legs and the head inside. Nobody can. When you come to temple, it's kind of like that. Nobody not going to disturb. Even somebody disturb, you have compassion. Oh, it's the inside the temple. Otherwise, I know what to do. Huh? No, in the outside, start to get into that path. That is where you become perfect. And when you come next time to the temple, then you go more deeper with the practice. So otherwise every day with the practice you are at the same level. You know the reason? In the outside you are the same person. That's why in the inside, when you come to the temple, you are the same place. But how you can go higher when you come next time? In the outside, don't be the same person. And always remember, step by step, go with that path. Okay, is there any question, please? Okay, we do loving kindness meditation for a moment also. Palms together and repeat after me. Maya Dhammanu Dhamma Patipatya Buddhan Pujemi Dhammang Pujemi Sangham
Sangham
Pujemi Attaya Imaya Patipatya Jati Jara Vyadi Maranamha Paribunjisami Idam me Punyang Asavakaya Vahang hotu Sabbadukka Pamucchatu. May you be well, happy and peaceful. May no harm come to you. May no difficulties come to you. May no problems come to you. May you also have the patience, courage, understanding and determination to meet and overcome inevitable difficulties in your life. And finally may you attain supreme bliss of Nibbana. Please say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.